Hi guys, welcome back to Nadifa Says. I'm back with Zach Van Harris Jr.
Well, today we wanted to talk about Black mental health. Black community, African American, African. It's just, I feel like it's a topic that we as a people just don't address openly as much as like some of the other people out there or groups that may do that. So, because it's a difficult conversation to have, you know, like.
Because for the longest we've been brushing it under the rug, and like now I'm at a point I don't even know how to like address this. Like I don't know how to start talking about this because it's not something normal. It's not something that is being talked about in my household, in my community, in our community. You know, it's not.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I wrote a note to myself about it. It said the Black mental health videos online, they don't get enough attention. And I feel like that's because it's just another blemish on a people with 1,000 other struggles to combat collectively. We're already dealing with so much in the world just being Black. And now we got this other target light just on us for this thing as well. So no, like it's easier to just be like, nope, we're not gonna address it. We're gonna sweep it under the rug. Like Nadifa said, like, you know, so we pretend it don't exist, which is very unhealthy. It's a very unhealthy way to deal with the issue. It is essentially just another thing to get treated by society unfairly about. So like, oh, they got this going on. They got this wrong with them. They got this and they're crazy, you know, so that's just, you know, it's easier to just kind of not talk about it. But we need, like, a lot of us need help. Like,
a lot, yeah.
And it's easier said than done. But like, do you know any, I guess, can you speak from your experience with Africans needing, you know, mental health, and then I'll speak about African Americans.
Yeah.
And we're not speaking for the entire people, but it's just like to at least get the conversation going.
Like when I first moved out, I moved out just because I needed my space. When I was by my own, I was struggling I was struggling bad. I was working overnight shift at Sam's Club, and I was like working 8 hours, and I would work at my other job 12 hours shift, you know, 4 days a week, and then I would work overnight 4 days a week, also 3 days a week, and I'll go to school full time, and I just did not have time to myself. I will help take care of my siblings. You know, I will always try to be the grown, like, cause I'm one of the oldest in the house, and try to help my mom, my siblings, and my mental health. Like, I didn't care so much about myself. Like, I was working two jobs just so I can get enough money to help pay my own bills and help pay some of the bills at home. So I was very stressed. I had no sleep. It was just super difficult. So I was feeling super, like I had a really bad headache. I just couldn't sleep. So I went to the doctors, and they said that I had stress and anxiety and depression or whatever. So I was like, no, it can't be it. Like, I was like, nope, it's not depressed. It's not this, because I look what I'm doing. Like, I'm going to school, you know, I'm trying to make my family proud. I'm paying these bills. I'm fine. And I was like rejecting the fact that I'm stressed, because I didn't even know, like, that's how stress is. Because like in my community, like if I tell my family or my friends that I'm stressed, they'd be like, nah, you need to pray more, or you know, come on, like stress it's not an African thing. It's not. Like, while you're stressed, you done been through war, you went 4 days with no food when you were back home, you made it alive, so now you have a hard time paying bills, and you talking about your stress. It's that kind of speech that I was getting, and I was denying. I was literally having a conversation with the doctor, say, I am not stressed, I'm not depressed, I am doing fine. But low-key, I was not. I was struggling bad. I was depressed, and I was trying to fight it. I was literally crying my way to work, crying my way back from home, crying my way to school. I was sleeping in class because I have no sleep. It was messing me up mentally, until like I was like, and then they started putting me on medication, and they were like, well, you have to take these pills. I don't know what's the name of the medication, but the doctor,
was it for depression, or what
it was for depression? Yeah. It was for anxiety. It was for so many. It was for all of those. The doctor said, this is gonna make you feel you know, bad. It's not gonna make you feel good for 3 days. And I said, well, okay, as long as it's gonna make me feel great and get me back into me working. And after 3 days, I'll be fine. Took this medicine. It made me literally want to hang myself. I was crying nonstop. I had no energy. I was thinking about, like, I had suicidal thoughts. I would always think about death. Like, what if I wake up? What if I don't wake up tomorrow? What if I die? You know, but I was still not I was just not accepting that it was stress, like that my mental health is at risk. No. But now that that happened, I was like, wow, this is an issue. Like, I literally was arguing with the doctors because growing up, this was not a topic. This is not, you know, we don't believe in stress. But now I am learning how to tell my siblings that it's okay to cry in front of me. It's okay to fight. It's okay to cry when you need to. I don't care where you at. If you stress, something happens to you, let it out. Don't try to go like me, go cry in the bathroom, trying to put out this perfect image that you got it together. You don't. You're not always gonna have it together.
Well, that's good to hear. That for me, like, I think it's been therapeutic to do these type of videos and like to have these tough conversations. And it's not always on camera that I'm having these tough conversations. You know, we have tough conversations that we haven't, you know, shared with everybody because we're still learning how to get certain things out. Like, we're kind of always told to suppress feelings and the things that we go through. You know, I did a spoken word poetry like a couple weeks ago, and some people in my family, they never saw that side of me be that expressive, and they saw it like, wow, you look like an angry black man up there, you know, saying the N-word a couple times and things like that. People that don't know me as well, they saw it like as just a black man up there that is expressing the pain that he has seen and endured, and family members that has endured, and his people has endured, and he's just tired of going through this pain and tired of his people going through this pain, and he wants to find ways to bring people together so we all can get the help that we need and we all can achieve greatness as human beings, you know. So they got the message that was the message that I was trying to deliver. But some people that's the closest to me, they told me to suppress that. They told me to keep that pain inside because it didn't look like pain to them. It looked like anger. And so just being always taught, even from our youth up until for our entire lives, being a black person, you're supposed to suppress pain. So if you dealing with stress, if you're dealing with traumas, if you're dealing with depression and all these different things, you got to suppress that and like deny getting the help to make your life better and feel better. You got to suppress that. Like, that could make you going crazy. So that you wondering why like black people out here wilding out because we're not getting the help that we need. This is going to be a crazy statement, but I'm gonna say it. A lot of gang members, I would say, and don't come for my neck, y'all, but like, I feel like a lot of gang members and a lot of people that are out here wilding out, they're wilding out because they're not getting the help that they need.
Yes.
And I'm not saying like if you a gang member that you crazy, but at the same time, you crazy, because we all crazy. We black. Like, it's already hard being black, and
yes.
And it's hard to not open up and talk about these things. We can't be vulnerable because then we look soft, we look weak, and we look all these things, and we don't want to ever feel like there's a threat on our existence because we have to always be alpha, or we always have to be, we have to carry ourselves a certain way because don't let them see you cry, don't let them see you sweat, don't let them see you break. Like, it's just, and then when you don't have a support system or you don't have that safety net to catch you, and you at the point where you're gonna break and snap, then yes, this is what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a black man out of control. You're gonna get a black woman out of control, and we don't give a F, and we wilding out, and you know, because there's no other option. So, tough conversation to have, but we're gonna have this conversation. We're gonna talk more about it. Thank you for listening. Really appreciate it, and let us know. Like, if you have, you know, comments about this, tell us your story. Because
Q&As, we would love for you guys to send us questions that we can read, live and like answer those questions and respond. So
because this is not going to be the end for it, especially like
this is part one of so many.
We're here to like get help ourselves and to help others along the way. So we're going to push ourselves to be as great as we can, and we're going to pull others along with us, because let's help each other.
We need to just talk about these issues a lot more. So when you watch this video, you're like, damn, I'm not the only person. I guess Zach felt this way, Nadifa felt this way, so you can relate, because we know it's an issue that we all are kind of like just sweeping under the rug, and it's not cool. We need to talk about this more. And
think about how many people we can help if we talk about this more. Because when people feel like there's no option or no one to turn to or no one that understands, a lot of times people start thinking about suicide. Like, I lost a really, really close friend of mine last year to suicide, and that messed me up for the longest. And like, there's so many different people that's super duper close to me that have attempted suicide many times. And even the thought has been in my life, personally, I never really talked to anybody about that, no one about it. But like, even being in college, I remember my freshman year, I got a single dorm because I was talking to, the health doctor on campus, and he was prescribing like, hey, here's some depression pills, try this, I think it was Zoloft, or here's this other, I didn't even tell my family, nobody, like no one, because I didn't know how to talk to anybody about it. So think about like how many kids are out there, or even adults, how many people are out there. You could be a grandparent, you could be someone that's retired, but it's just something that you just never knew how to talk to someone about, and there's thoughts in your mind, and you just dealing with these things. Like, how can you get it out? The more we talk about it, I think that the more help, the more
I feel like even our parents are like so stubborn and so stuck up about these things. It's not their fault. They also grew up not talking about this issue. But I see that more and more parents are like dealing with high blood pressure issue. Like, I had a friend that her she lost a parent because of that, and because like men are not supposed to express their feelings, not supposed to talk about the things that they go through. They're not supposed to just be, like act like women, I guess is what people always say. So our parents deal with this kind of stuff, and they don't talk to us about it. They deal with it, and then it's like we're all suffering in silence. We have so much pride and so much ego. We don't want to like come forward and say, hey, I have 10 bills I'm paying, okay, and it's stressing me out. I need help. I need you to take care of this one and that one, and I take the rest. Nope, I got it. I'm a man. I'm supposed to be the man of the house. I got it together, and really you don't. Like, so it's an issue that I had a really
good friend of mine who's an artist and very in tune with like spirituality, and just can pick up on vibes and energy. And anyway, I was purchasing some artwork from her, and she said she had her back to me, and she was still painting on her easel, and she's like, Zach Van Harris, what's wrong? And I was like, dang, like she got a camera? How she know? I'm like, oh, nothing. And she turned around, she looked me in the eye, and she's like, what's wrong? I think she can feel like I was stressed to the max. I had like just so much that I could have dumped on her, but so I gave her the like the surface level. I'm like, oh, school and this, that, but it was like 1,000 other things that it was really bothering me, but I didn't want to dump that on her. But she picked up on that vibe. And I think that like, if we don't have those outlets and those people that we can just like talk to and just be open with, and not feel you're gonna get judged, or you're gonna feel like people gonna shun you, or say like, oh, you just pray it away, or you just like do these things. Like, you think I haven't been praying? You think I haven't? Like,
for me, honestly, sometimes praying, makes me like, when I listen to the Quran, it makes me just calm, and there's some du'as that I read that makes me very calm. But my mom is like, my biggest support system, and she's, you know, she will always tell me, even though she also, like, when I tell her I'm stressed, she looks at me like I'm crazy. She's, you know, and this is what they say all the time: you're 20, you're 19, you're 17.
Oh.
How come you're stressed?
Right.
Like, what are you stressing about?
Right, yeah.
What are you stressing about?
Yeah.
You are young. It's like, I didn't know stress had an age. Like, I didn't know. I know, like,
I didn't know stress had an age.
Like, you gonna put, no, let's
silent.
stop saying that.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you, I've been stressed my whole life. From the day my mom gave birth to me, I've been a stressed child, because, you know, it's just, and sometimes I deal with stress differently like other people. Sometimes, like, when I'm stressed, I eat too much. If I start eating out of the blue, just know I'm stressed. If I start eating too much, then I'm stressed. And
on reverse, sometimes you get stressed and you don't eat at all.
You don't eat at all. So
like, you want to fast?
Yes.
I'm stressed.
I'm stressed. And a lot of us, even Africans, we put ourselves through college, we put ourselves through all of this stuff because we are so much under pressure, and that is stressing us a lot, because we're like, well, our parents did this for us, this, you know, they struggle for us to birth to this country, and we need to make them proud. Like, we need to understand that even if you, like, going to college is not, like, I have friends that went to college and they hate the degree that they have simply because their parents said, you're not studying this, you're studying this. And now they're not happy with their degree. They don't know what the heck to do with it, you know. So we force ourselves, we put ourselves through that. It's okay to be selfish and look at your parents and say, I'm not gonna be a doctor, I'm gonna be a janitor. And work your ass off, make that money, and come help, you know, like, prove them wrong. That if you're a hardworking individual, like, I have friends that want to go to college, but they work their ass off every day. They hustle, they know how to make money. Anyways, so we're gonna talk more about this issue. I'm gonna have different people come to this channel and talk about mental health, their experience, so that way, you know, everybody's exposed to these issues, and we can talk more about that, about mental health in the Black community. It's not necessarily mental health in African community. It's not just with African American. It's just the Black community in general. All of us, we go through the same exact thing, and we don't know about it until we speak up. Like, the reason why I know how he feels and why I feel like it's similar, because he probably was the first person to open up about me, and I'm like, wow, like, I can relate, and then I share mine, so now we're like, whoa, like, we experiencing the same, it's very similar. Yeah. So the first thing to probably do is, you don't have to go in detail or share your whole entire life, but just start a conversation with somebody and see where they stand and you know, what their experience. And I promise you, if it's somebody Black, it doesn't have to be African American, you guys will have something in similar. You guys will relate on this issue a lot. So just start having this conversation around campus, around with your friends, whoever. And, you know,
please, the more we talk about this, the more you don't realize it, but you're gonna help yourself, and you're gonna help others, because, like you said, we pray, but, like, sometimes it's good to be in the fellowship of others that also, you know, if you can pray, you got a prayer partner, or you got someone that you can just talk to and get this stress. Instead of just suppressing it and keeping it inside, you get the stress off your chest, you'll feel a whole lot better. So please communicate and talk with other people. Yes. Let's get the conversation going.
All right, thank you. We'll see you guys later.
All right,
bye.
Peace, love, smile, shoot, Galaxy. I'm Zach.